Okay, so recently there has been a interview slash cooking show with a woman named Ari and Danielle Bregoli. I'm not really familiar with Ari. I can't keep track of everybody on the internet and what podcasts and shows they are trying to do. But what garnered my attention when it comes to this one is that Ari and Danielle had some deep conversations about Danielle's life, her past, and her current histories just going on with everything. So the thing that kind of caught my attention is not necessarily what everybody is talking about, the neglect that her mom and boyfriends and men who were around my age group did to the woman. It's also her behaviors when it comes to relationships and the accountability she took, which was a very big part of the responsibility and grown up and maturity that she has. I'm going to touch on the interview that they did here in a moment, but I just want to kind of discuss how everybody was talking about how Danielle posted a video of her and her child's father. Um, I can't think of his name right now. I think it's LD, LB, something like that. Well, anyways, the confrontation they got into, and Danielle has openly admitted multiple times that she has, put hands on him first. She has instigated stuff first, and that's something that a lot of people don't really want to accept. They normally see a smaller woman and think, hey, um, let's protect her, let's rally behind her, let's, this, down, and third. It's very rare you hear a woman say, well, yeah, I did that. Yeah, I started this. Yeah, I understand why he went back at me. And it's kind of like the same thing with the whole entire Kiki Palmer thing. Kiki Palmer also wrote how she has a temper and how she instigates stuff sometimes too. It's refreshing in a way to see that people are starting to see that these women are not as innocent as we've seen, and we should also stop and question what's really going on behind the scenes whenever we see these instances of violence. With that being said, though, I'm going to go ahead and get into the video clip when it comes to Danielle. And when it comes to Danielle, I always had kind of a soft spot for her because I see a girl, well now a woman because she just turned 22, but I always see the person that was always kind of hurt. A lot of people who act out like that are normally hurt and they haven't found a healthy way to deal with that pain as of yet. Her going on Dr. Phil, her being in the public eye, there was nothing to sit here to help her foster good, mature feelings. And I remember a while back when I first found out that she was pregnant, I was like, you know what? I hope this child helps her reflect on her actions and who she is as a woman, and she doesn't repeat the same mistakes that she did that her mother made, which I'm pretty sure is a generational thing. And you know what? I think that has been happening so far. So let's go ahead and get into the clip of this made the internet all over the place.
Getting molested, and yeah, that's
You got molested?
not there.
But in life?
Twice.
Oh.
Well,
I don't know how well.
I don't know how many times you want to count it, but I mean,
Who's molesting you?
well, I was molested by my mom's ex-boyfriend from 3 to 6, and then I was molested by my from 13 to 16,
Hold on.
and then I had 30-year-old boyfriends when I was 16, 17, 18.
Where's
And when she said, she didn't say the bodyguard name in this particular clip, but she did make a post about it.
he still out living his life?
He's living his life too.
Is that used to be with you?
Mm-hmm.
He was molesting you?
Yeah.
Now, I went ahead and posted a tweet that she made, not tweet, excuse me, the Instagram post she made about him. The amount of time this lady purposely put me in harm's way and y'all mad about a smack. She let me get, you know what, by her boyfriend Justin and Frank Datello for 3 years. Both times, nobody's safe. Play with me if you want to. Now, with that being said, I went ahead and tried to find this guy on the internet right quick. Let's go ahead and minimize this for a second. And look at this right quick. His Instagram page is deactivated, as it should be. I'm pretty sure he's in hiding and scared right now. I did see a Reddit post of what his Instagram did look like before he deactivated. It looks like him doing some more security work, him with, his family and things like that, which is kind of disappointing in a way because I'm pretty sure if somebody was to do something like that to what she's alleging to one of his family members, he'll have a freak out and try to hurt them. And that's the thing, and that's why fathers are important, because whenever a man sees a young girl that is rich and unprotected, a lot of men would try to pounce. And that's a very unfortunate thing that we have here in this world. I found his, that could potentially be his Facebook that's all blacked out and everything taken away. Um, and then just to get a Google search, I really don't know what the man looks like. But I also feel like that somebody like this should be exposed for who they are. Now, the other thing about that, I will say, when it comes to Danielle, she did talk about a lot of boyfriends she had, people she been around. And truth be told, if she truly wanted to expose people, there would probably be a lot of our favorite rappers and entertainers uh, that should be locked up. And that's why I don't empathize with Diddy, but Diddy was a part of the culture and the entertainment industry. Because even though he did some alleged atrocious things, he was just doing what everybody else is doing. Now, there's a lot of bleeps of famous people that she names in this interview. And I wish it wasn't bleeped, but I'm just kind of curious. Behind the scenes, who did she interact with? Because she even mentioned that there was a few people that she was interacting with when she was 16 years old. And even Arby was like, shouldn't these people be arrested? It's crazy. Anyways, let's get back to the video.
Getting molested, and yeah, that's
You got molested?
not there.
But in life?
Twice.
Oh.
Well,
I don't know how well.
I don't know how many times you want to count it, but I mean,
Who's molesting you?
well, I was molested by my mom's ex-boyfriend from 3 to 6, and then I was molested by my from 13 to 16.
Hold on.
And then I had 30-year-old boyfriends when I was 16, 17, 18.
Where's he still out living his life?
He's living his life too.
Is that used to be with you? He was molesting you?
Yeah.
Do people know about this?
No.
What the fuck?
Living his best life.
Oh my god. Ew.
Working at a car dealership in Florida.
Did you tell somebody?
Yeah, I did.
They believe you?
They believe me. The feds did shit.
The who?
Now, anybody who has been in that position to where you have been inappropriately handled by another adult, you can definitely sit there and say that you may have told a family member, and a family member a lot of time didn't do anything. And it's not because they didn't necessarily care, because a lot of them feel ashamed and embarrassed that they weren't able to protect you from having that happen to you. So a lot of the times, especially how old the parent is or the grandparent is or whatever your situation is, they'll just say, you know what, let's just go ahead and ignore it. They try to keep you away from the person, not necessarily realizing that you're looking for something that happened to that person because it's wrong. Because you're always taught that we need to keep our hands to ourselves. We need to respect our bodies and make sure other people respect our bodies. And there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So when you allow somebody to violate you in a way like she has been, it plays a lot in your head. It's kind of like, well, okay, if they get away with it, is it really that bad? And the reason I say that, then that leads into her decisions to date older men. And it leads her to decisions to be more promiscuous, because she had nobody there to help protect her or seek her to get justice. And again, keep in mind, all this is when she was with her mother. Her father was not around the picture at this time. And this is why I always feel like fathers are very important when it comes to situations like this. I'll never say that one person is more important than the other, right? I am a very active father myself, and I always believe that it is beneficial if both parents are in their right mindset, keep that in mind, that they should both be involved with the parents' lives. Now, unfortunately, Danielle's life has been in the public eye for years. Well, I was going to say decades, for years. At this point, it seems like people kind of misconstrue or misunderstand how old she really is. She's only 22. And even for myself, I thought she was older, because I remember seeing her on Dr. Phil, and that was probably over 10 years ago at this point. Or close to 10 years ago at this point. And, she's been in the public eye so long, acting so adultish, you just assume that she was older. At least I did. And between the behaviors, the music videos, the way she dressed and behaved, it's just kind of like she grew up too fast and nobody was there to check her. Her mom didn't check her. her mom was only there to seem like to check her whenever she got too disrespectful towards her, but she really couldn't stop her because Danielle was the one that was bringing in the money. But Danielle was necessarily the adult because the adult is the one that's supposed to guide you. And it's a very hard dynamic when you have a kid that sit here and bringing in the money. How can you tell them what to do? How can you really stop them? How can you raise them? And it's a very unique dynamic that kids are in control while the adults are sitting by. It's very unfortunate. And this guy, I remember seeing articles about him saying that, he was a parental figure, a father figure. He stepped in the way. All the while, he was doing something a father would never do to another person. And I've seen people in the comments of that video saying, what now? What's the big deal? What you have to understand is whenever you're going through a situation or whenever you have somebody that has been hurt, it takes a long time for them to express that hurt. Like even myself, I'm a male. I had some stuff happen to me when I was younger. It took years. And when I say years, I was damn well until an adult, until I was able to speak on it. And that's the thing. People don't realize things don't happen in your time. Because when you initially speak on it and the person you tell doesn't believe you, or the person you tell doesn't do anything, it kind of makes you just like, well, what's my worth? And nobody's there to help protect me. And that's why I was always super protective of my daughter, because I want to make sure she never grew up with a lot of traumas that I did or a lot of the people I see like Danielle. Because even though she has found a way to be successful, let's be realistic. If she did not get on that Dr. Phil show, you could very well see her being a baby mama of 5 by now, at the age of 22. I hate to say that, but it's true. She had no real protection. She had no real guidance. She just had fight and flight her whole entire life. And it started from the age of 3 to 6. And it got worse as she got older. It got more famous because that bodyguard, when she first became famous, that she got attached to, took advantage of her. And that is just heartbreaking to hear.
The Fed? Mm-hmm. So did he go to jail?
No.
Why not?
I don't know.
You didn't press the issue?
Nobody ever goes to jail when it comes to me.
Why you think that?
I don't know. They just never do. Both people that did something to me never went to jail.
What did your mama do to the ex-boyfriend?
She just got rid of him.
Did she try to beat his ass, shoot him, nothing? You should have called me. I wish you would have known that. Oh my God, I'm so sorry that happened to you. I just got a little sad. I don't want to finish filming. Oh my God, are you okay?
Yeah, I've been through a lot. It's okay. I'll be all right.
She's not all right. Because from what I can tell, she never truly dealt with that pain. Again, you could tell in the relationships that she has now. And I'm not saying her baby daddy is a bad man. I don't know him from anything, from blade of grass outside. I can't tell him the difference from anybody else. And he could genuinely, love her and want to be with her and all this other kind of stuff. Because you could tell that she'll be a handful to deal with. She is a handful to deal with. And, in spite of everything that she has gone through, the public eye, the neglect at the ranch that she went to, the neglect of nobody protecting her and her body and her sanctity, she still tried to progress and build some way forward. And you may not agree how she made her money. You may not agree with her antics, but realistically speaking, she's not harming anybody else. And she admits to her flaws. And I've seen her try to do something that most people don't do, is give opportunities for other people to try to do better. Like I remember she came out with that scholarship she had to help pay for people's schools and things like that. She exposed the ranch that Dr. Phil had her sent to and what was going on there. So as much much antics that she pulls, she sits there and tries to do right at the same time. That's a lot more I could say from a lot of other people, because I'll just leave it there. Let's keep going.
Oh my goodness. How do I finish now? First of all, y'all some hoe ass niggas. And bitch, if I ever catch y'all, just know it's up about my bitch. For real, yeah. I am sad now. I kind of feel a little emotional, like I want to cry. I need a minute.
Yeah, I've been through it.
Okay. I'm hot and shit now. Can I get a shot or something? So.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. You know, and she kind of went over like what happens to the conflict with her mom in the airplane. She explains a lot because most of the time she stays silent and people are just like, there she goes again, getting into another fight. There she is, goes again, going off. There she goes again, etc., etc. And again, I do not always approve of how she handled things, but I can at least understand. She had nobody to really protect her, and she always had to protect herself. So it was one of those things that she either had to fight or she kept getting used, kept getting mistreated, and that's unfortunate. And that goes for a lot of people, not just Danielle. There's people in general. If you see a lot of people who are angry and frustrated, not everybody is just a bad seed. Sometimes it's just something that you gotta do to. Sometimes you gotta do to protect yourself, to protect others. There are people that are plenty of angry and mad and do quote unquote bad things to protect the people that are younger than them, that are their family. So like, hey, I'm going to do this bad thing so you don't got to. I'm going to do what I can to protect you. And again, I'm not excusing her behaviors, but it gives a sense of understanding that not everybody who is angry and loud or angry aloud for no reason, they're doing it normally because they were not taught better. They cannot do better because nobody was there to protect them. Now, with that being said, she is 22 years old now. She is a mother now. So anything she does at this point is 100% accountable for herself. And she also does know better. She even admits it here now in this video. So if she doesn't take the time, the opportunity to try to seek therapy, she does not take the time, the opportunity to find some way to temper that anger, and that's 100% her fault. There's nobody else to blame in that situation. And that's the thing. I'm not going to make an excuse for her, never will. But I will say that we got to pay attention to the people that are closest to us. Anyways. One more thing. I thought it was kind of interesting because she also said in this video that she was emailing Dr. Phil ever since she was a baby almost. And that's like, what? So if that is true, the mother was clearly always trying to find a way to get famous. And it worked. Anyways, you guys like, comment, and subscribe. If you see this video popped up like multiple times on live, it was because I was having technical difficulties, and I got it figured out for the most part, I think. Anyways, thank you for watching. Have a great day.